So this is the last in this series of Rugby World Cup road trip videos. We were back in England for round 4 after nearly 3 weeks on the road around France, but now we're just heading back over the channel to catch England's last group game against Samoa. The whole area of red and yellow cards also seems to have found some sensible middle ground. I thought Luke Pearce had an absolutely excellent game in the South Africa versus Tonga match last weekend. That could have potentially been a card fest, but I thought he handled it really well and made some very sensible, practical judgments on the field. So assuming no major upsets in this final weekend round of games, I think we had the very exciting prospect of an all Northern Hemisphere set of semi-finals, because England should beat Fiji, Wales will probably put one over on Argentina. I fancy Ireland to beat New Zealand if they play them, and France, the host, should really be able to get past South Africa. So that would be quite a turn up and something really to celebrate as an England and Northern Hemisphere rugby fan. So it's Friday morning, the day before the England game. We're staying in Roubaix, just outside Lille, on the same tube network, so we can easily get to the ground. I'm here in the main square outside the town hall, and there's a little church over here, a couple of cafes. Not as busy as the middle of Lille, obviously. England team's out, which is interesting. Forward starting a fly half, which I really like. I'd like to see Manu Tuilagi do a little bit more offloading before he gets into contact. If you looked at the way New Zealand played last night, what's really key about their game is the way they're constantly looking to offload as they go into contact. Which especially McKenzie, who was man of the match and had a brilliant game. So with forward at fly half, it's good to see Smith on the bench, so that gives us the possibility of taking Freddie Stewart off and having the 3 fly halves on the pitch again, if that's the way that the game is going. And really nice to see Ben Earl retain his place. I think he has been one of the standout players for England so far in this campaign, and hoping he can continue to perform at that level. So we're warming up for the France-Italy game. It's a motley crew we've got here of England fans come over to Lille for the Samoa game. Bars in Lille, a sea of white England supporters. England fans massing in the Grand Place. Here we are at the Lille Stadium. It's about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours before kick-off. As you can see, it's the crowds are building, but it's also quite hot. It's probably about 22 degrees, so it's going to be quite sweaty out there. Not quite sure how that will affect the game. Hopefully it'll mean nice running rugby as opposed to sweaty rugby, and hope the ball doesn't get too. So we've lucked out again with the tickets right on the try line, which is excellent, and also right in front of the TV presenter's desk. One of those guys is definitely Dimitri Lashvili, I recognise. Not sure who the other French player is though.
sign at the moment, and Samoa definitely capitalising on that. So a little bit tense still.
They've just gone behind to a very well-worked chip across try from Samoa. England making far too many errors, and they're getting out of trouble because their pack's dominant, and they're making some nice space and creating some great shapes in attack, but they're just not being able to finish them off. Manitulangi again not able to pass when so that's half time. England down 14 points to 8. They played very sporadically. I mean, the half ended with a knock-on, so typical of how England play. They found some good space, made some good shapes, but just made too many errors. Samoa, you've got to take your hat off to them. They've played some great rugby. They've offloaded. You look at the offload stats, something like 6 offloads in the tackle versus England's 1, and that's where they're making the space and creating the gaps and going over a couple of 90 tries. Another penalty won by Samoa with England nearly over the try line. Samoa's play around the ruck has been excellent. Gary Kerr just gone under the post to relieve, much to the relief of England fans here. And England should go ahead with a conversion straight for other sticks. Phew! England managed to grind out a 1-point victory. Very tense for everybody involved in the ground.
Tap your Instagram.
It was. They made a lot of errors. Rescued by some of the subs that came on. But you've got to take your hat off to Samoa. I think when England made an error, they really capitalised on it. Whereas when Samoa made an error, England didn't really press home that advantage. I think that's the key difference. But yeah, very exciting game to watch. It's a bit nerve-wracking.